Good morning, America. As you step outside and take in the first light of day, you might notice something unusual in the air. If you've stepped outside lately, you've probably noticed a chill in the air, much more like late autumn than summer. It's the kind of crispness that makes you double-check the calendar, wondering if summer has ended early. Across much of the US, record-breaking cold has had us reaching for sweaters and jackets far earlier than usual. News headlines are buzzing about these unseasonably low temperatures, and many are left shivering on what should be warm September mornings. This cool air, driven south by a dramatic dip in the jet stream, gave us a brisk start to September. The jet stream, acting like a river of wind high above, has been steering cold air much farther south than normal. But get ready, because the weather pattern is about to flip in a big way. The atmosphere is always changing, and this time it's setting the stage for a dramatic reversal. The jet stream is turning north, shutting off the cold and letting summer heat surge back in. Warm air from the south is poised to flood much of the country, bringing a sudden and noticeable change. This isn't just a mild warm-up, it's a major shift that will be felt by millions. Cities that were bundled up just days ago will soon be basking in sunshine and heat, catching many off guard. High pressure is building, trapping heat and pushing the cool air north. This high-pressure system acts like a lid, locking in warmth and creating what meteorologists call a heat dome. The result? A dome of summer-like warmth will settle in, ending our early taste of fall. Temperatures will climb quickly, and the air will feel thick and humid once again. So, dust off those summer clothes. Hot, humid air is making a comeback. It's time to swap sweaters for t-shirts and enjoy a few more days of summer fun, even as the calendar says September. The atmosphere is in flux, and this dramatic change is just getting started. Stay tuned, because in the world of weather, surprises are always just around the corner. Let's break down the return of the heat wave and what it means for you and your community. After a brief taste of cooler, almost autumn-like weather, summer is making a dramatic comeback across much of the country. The shift will be sudden, and for many, it'll feel like the calendar has flipped back a couple of months. The Great Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley will feel the biggest jump, going from cool to hot and humid almost overnight. Cities and towns that were enjoying mild breezes and open windows will soon be cranking up the air conditioning as the humidity surges and temperatures spike. The heat builds Friday, peaks Saturday, and lingers through next week, with highs soaring into the 80s, 90s, and even near 100 in places like Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. Expect sweltering afternoons, warm nights, and little relief even after sunset. Outdoor plans may need to be adjusted, and local events could be impacted by the extreme conditions. This is record-breaking heat for mid-September, making it feel like July's back for an encore. Many areas could see new temperature records set, and the intensity of the heat will be especially unusual for this time of year. It's a reminder that summer's grip can linger well into the fall months. The Climate Prediction Center confirms above-average temps will dominate most of the country through at least the 19th. This means millions of Americans will be dealing with unseasonably hot weather, from the central states all the way to the East Coast. The heat dome is broad, and its effects will be felt far and wide. This ridge of high pressure is strong and slow-moving, so the heat will stick around. With little chance of rain or storms to break the pattern, expect a prolonged stretch of hot, dry weather. The persistent sunshine will keep temperatures elevated day after day. If you're in these regions, prep your AC and review hot weather safety, hydrate, take breaks, and never leave kids or pets in cars. Check on neighbors, especially the elderly or those without reliable cooling, and make sure everyone knows how to stay safe during extreme heat. The sudden return of extreme heat after a cool spell can be a shock, so take it seriously. Our bodies need time to adjust, and heat-related illnesses can happen quickly. Stay informed with local forecasts and be proactive about protecting yourself and your loved ones. Get ready for a stretch of true summer weather. Whether you're planning to cool off at the pool, stay indoors, or just try to beat the heat. This is a time to be prepared and stay safe as summer makes its bold return. Not everyone will feel the heat wave, and for some, the weather will actually be quite comfortable. The East Coast will warm up a bit, but temperatures should stay near or even below average, thanks to the jet stream dipping back down as it reaches the Atlantic Ocean. Cities from Boston to DC may enjoy pleasant, seasonable weather, while the heartland sweats under the intense sun. On the West Coast, coastal areas will also stay closer to normal, with the Pacific Ocean's influence keeping temperature extremes at bay for now. So, while the central US bakes in the heat, the coasts get a much-needed break from the extremes. It's a classic weather divide. Check your local forecast to know what to expect in your area this week. Major pattern shifts like this often spark severe storms, and this week is no exception. When the atmosphere undergoes a dramatic change, it sets the stage for turbulent weather, sometimes with little warning. These shifts can transform a calm day into one filled with intense wind, rain, and even hail within just a few hours. As warm, humid air surges northward from the Gulf and collides with lingering cool air from the north, the atmosphere becomes highly unstable, prime conditions for thunderstorms to erupt. This clash of air masses creates powerful updrafts, fueling the growth of towering storm clouds that can quickly turn severe. A stationary low-pressure system near the Rockies acts as a trigger, helping storms fire up right where these contrasting air masses meet. This low acts like a spark, igniting storms that can rapidly intensify, especially in areas where the air is most unstable. Already, storms with large hail and damaging winds have hit parts of Colorado and Kansas, a preview of what's possible as this pattern continues. These storms have left behind broken windows, downed trees, and scattered debris, reminding us how quickly conditions can change. The risk for severe weather stretches from Friday through the weekend, especially along the edge of the expanding heat dome. This boundary is where the most volatile weather is likely, and residents should stay alert for changing forecasts and possible warnings. The most active zones will be where temperature contrasts are sharpest, shifting eastward as the heat spreads. As the front moves, new areas will become vulnerable to sudden storms, with the potential for heavy rain, lightning, and even isolated tornadoes. Not everyone under the heat will see storms. Many in the south will stay hot and dry, enduring relentless sunshine and soaring temperatures. For these areas, the main concern will be heat-related stress and the risk of drought. But on the northern and western edges, be ready for fast-developing severe weather. If you live in these regions, keep an eye on the sky and be prepared to act quickly if warnings are issued, as storms can form and intensify in a matter of minutes. So, who's most at risk for severe storms? Friday and Saturday, the High Plains, Dakotas, and Nebraska face the greatest threat, where heat and cool air clash. Expect damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes, especially where storms can start to rotate. The threat isn't for a massive outbreak, but isolated severe storms can still be dangerous. The risk shifts into the Midwest by Sunday as the boundary moves east. Forecasting exact locations is tough, so everyone in these zones should stay alert and have a way to get warnings. Stay weather aware as we head into the weekend. Now, a quick hurricane season update. September 11th is the statistical peak of the Atlantic season, but right now, the Atlantic is remarkably quiet. No active storms or areas of concern. The same jet stream pattern bringing US weather changes is creating high wind shear and dry air over the Atlantic, suppressing storm development. Hurricane season isn't over though. Long-range models hint at possible activity after the 19th, so stay tuned. In the Pacific, only the remnants of Tropical Storm Kiko remain, north of Hawaii, and weakening fast. Kiko brings some gusty winds to Hawaii, but poses no real threat. For now, both basins are calm, a welcome break during peak season. But as always, keep an eye on the tropics. The US is in the midst of a dramatic weather shift, from unseasonable cold to intense heat, with severe storms in between. If you're in the heatwave zone, take precautions, hydrate, limit outdoor activity, and check on vulnerable neighbors. For those near the storm boundary, Dakotas, Nebraska, Midwest, review your severe weather plan and know the difference between a watch and a warning. Have multiple ways to get alerts and be ready to act quickly. Weather can change fast, so stay informed and prepared. Listen to local officials and keep up with your forecast. By staying alert and looking out for each other, we can all navigate this major weather shift safely. Stay safe, everyone.